For our second period intermission, we have Josh Lockhart, the Kimberley Dynamiter blogger for Bloggers Blurb.
Thanks for having me.
An exciting hockey game we've had here. Two different hockey games.
Very much so.
The first period, I thought the Beaver Valley Nighthawks kind of controlled most of that period. They score on the power play. Second period, the Dynamiters control most of that period, score on the power play. We have a 1-1 game.
True, but just to explain the Nighthawks' dominance, the Dynamiters didn't get their first shots until, I believe it was 12 minutes into the period, right? So
it helps when you get two early power plays and get the home team on its heels. But having said that, the Dynamiters normally would have 3 or 4 shots before the middle of the period regardless.
Yes, and usually they would, or there's been games where they've had as many shots as there have been minutes. So they underperformed, and to be outshot to be doubled in the shots was just unbelievable play by the Nighthawks.
I thought all credit goes to the Beaver Valley Nighthawks for keeping the Dynamiters at their game rather than the Dynamiters playing their game. Yeah. And that was reversed in the second period. The Dynamiters picked up a half a step, and they dominated that second period, outshooting the Nighthawks 18-4.
Yeah.
And it was about the 12-minute mark when the Nighthawks got their first opportunity on net.
Might have been a little bit earlier, I think, but
but it's a tale of two hockey games, and the third period is obviously going to be the potential deciding period in this game.
Absolutely.
But this could very well go in overtime.
Easily. It's going to feel like overtime this next period.
I believe it will, yes.
And so I've been tracking the decibel level throughout this game, which has been kind of fun to do something different.
Right.
And you can tell the fans definitely enjoyed the second period more than the first.
Well, the hometown crowd not seeing a shot on goal for 12 minutes really wouldn't have much to say.
No.
Except for talking to the referees.
Which that was when they peaked during the first period, was when a penalty was finally called against the Nighthawks. So, but obviously that changed during the second period when there was a couple close chances and then the goal. So yeah, it's been amazing to just pay attention to that. And 110 decibels is as loud as a helicopter.
110 decibels, as loud as a helicopter from how far away?
Good question.
So if a helicopter takes off in Cranbrook and I'm in Kimberley, that's not that loud.
No, it's really not. So
obviously what you're saying, if you're close to a helicopter taking off, that was 110 decibels.
Yeah, that's how loud it got in here. Momentarily, but that's how loud.
Sorry about that.
No worries. It was funny. I loved it.
So, looking at the series in general, I thought the Dynamiters pretty much controlled Game 1.
Yep.
They were lucky to get away with a win on Game 2.
Yes.
I believe they had to come from behind in Game 3.
Yes, they did.
To get a 2-1 victory. And
sorry, it wasn't come from behind. They scored the next shift after the tying goal by the Nighthawks. So even that was just by the skin of their teeth.
Right. And, of course, you expect that from a Jones
always
hockey club. They're going to be in every game. And I think the Dynamiters have the edge in the overall depth and skill on the team. And both teams, I believe the game that's going to this game will be won by the team that works the hardest. Because although the Dynamiters have some good skill, if they don't work harder than the other team, the other team has every chance to win.
Totally. And the other piece is mistake-free. That's been what's cost the Beaver Valley Nighthawks the most amount of their goals. Same with the Dynamiters, but when the especially in game
2.
Game 2? Anyway, we scored like 3 goals, and they were all off of turnovers.
Yeah, that was Game 2. The Dynamiters win 4-3.
So that for me is the difference there. It's also being able to play mistake-free hockey.
Well, this is Junior B hockey, and we know that there's going to be mistakes.
There's going to be mistakes. So it's being able to capitalize then on those mistakes. But if you can play mistake-free hockey for more than the other team as well, while also working harder, that's your ticket.
And it could very well come down to goaltending as well. Although the Dynamiters had 18 shots, some of the real excellent scoring opportunity variety, Ducotny made a couple of outstanding saves. One shot came from the right circle, and he got his toe on the shot, and that was by Palmer taking that shot.
Yeah, he 105 decibels at that moment.
Yeah, and Ducotny got his right pad on it, his right toe, and just cleared it into the corner. That was and he's playing outstanding. If I'm not mistaken, and you correct me if I'm wrong, he's been the player of the game for the Nighthawks 4 times in a row. Isn't that not correct?
I will apologize. I haven't actually paid attention to that piece.
Well,
I know he made 43 saves in Saturday's game. So if he hasn't been named their star player, he's been arguably their best player this series, though.
I agree. And their top line with Hagen, LaRue, and Sorelli?
Well, and Ross.
Crisali.
Yeah.
Their top line, I've looked on the score sheets throughout the series. They really haven't done much, and that's the what word am I looking? That is where they're going to get their power from, is that top line. The Dynamiters have done a great job on containing that line. Their secondary scoring, especially on the power play, has been what's kept the Beaver Valley Nighthawks in the series.
Yes, and Ross scored the opening goal on Saturday on the power play.
And he did it again tonight.
So that's, again, just showing that depth there for them.
And according to my records, he was the #1 goal scorer for the Nighthawks in the regular season.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. But, again, their top line of Hagen, LaRue, and Crisali, if the Dynamiters can keep them at bay, then they have an excellent opportunity to take away a victory and play off against the Okanagan Conference winner, which, let's talk about that a bit. Neither one of those teams can win at home. Like, what's up with that?
I have no idea what's up with that. Like, not that I thought Revelstoke was going to sweep the series when they had 2-0 lead over Kelowna.
In Kelowna.
Yep. Coming home, you're like, no one can win in Revelstoke. Like, we even struggle to win it. Like, anyone struggles to win in Revelstoke. And then Kelowna goes and wins both games in Kelowna.
And not by close margins either.
No. So
they're playing in Kelowna tonight, so does that mean Revelstoke is going to win?
At the rate they're going, yes. So that's just mesmerizing to me to see how that series gone. Now, I asked the Dynamiters coach, hey, do you want to finish this series so you can get some rest? Because obviously with Halverson playing forward, they got some injured players.
Skite and Russell are out tonight. Russell, I believe, has his illness. I don't know if it's a flu or anyway. So he's not feeling well. And Ryan Skite had a lower body injury. But talking to the coaching staff earlier today, had this been Game 7, those 2 players would be in the lineup.
Right, and Risden's out as well. So
Risden's going to be out for a while, I think.
Fair enough, that's true. But so with that in mind, I'm like, wouldn't you want to finish the series just so you could get some rest time, knowing that Kelowna and Revelstoke still need to at least win 2 more games each?
It's a 6-game series minimum over there, yeah.
And he's like, we want to win to be the Kootenay Conference champions, not for rest. I'm like, okay, good point. Right? So
now, they want to win every game. So, yes, they want to win tonight, so they do get some rest and are the Kootenay Conference champions.
They would probably say it the other way around, that they're the Kootenay Conference champions, and now we get a little break before the next series starts.
Exactly, according to the coaching staff, and that's exactly right. And after that first period, we knew the Dynamiters needed to pick it up a half a step to get right back in the hockey game, and they did. And that's something that the Dynamiters have consistently throughout this series have had great third periods. They won Game 2 on a third period, come from behind to take 4-3. They scored I believe the only goal in the third period for Game 3, and they had 20 shots on net versus the Beaver Valley Nighthawks, Noah Ducotny in Game 4, unable to beat him. With those 20 shots. They've had 18 shots tonight. It'd be interesting to see if they can put together another dominating third period like they have in the first 4 games.
And they're going to need to if they want to finish the series tonight.
Yes, they cannot play kitty bar the door, especially when you're tied up. You want to press forward. But that's the Dynamiters' modus operandi anyway. They like to go forward. They don't like to play a lot in their own zone. They want to play in the offensive zone. And the other thing I've noticed tonight, their physical play. I know Hagen took a huge hit just after he released a pass in the first period, and he took a while getting back to the bench. Notice he was back out playing again, but he had some suffering. And then I believe it was...
I know Coran's delivered some big hits as well.
Yes, and it was Morgan Peace. Peace took a big hit from Coran. as well as Kevin Duguid. And when Karan hits, he hits hard. He's a big
solid.
man out there. So the Dynamiters, I think that was part of their going into the second period to play a little bit more physical, but not being silly about it, not taking runs at people, but finishing the checks. And when you can finish a check, obviously then you're going to have an opportunity to get a loose puck and whatnot.
Right. And I talked to the Beaver Valley Nighthawks head coach, Terry Jones, and he mentioned that, yes, his team is black and blue, but they know how to win. Like, they're not here by accident.
Nope.
So while I'm sure both coaches are lecturing their players on, you got to get this, both these teams know how to win. So it really comes down to the players making the decision themselves. And as we've said, to work harder. And
the team that works hardest in this next period is the team that's going to win the hockey game.
Yeah.
And desperation will be part of the Beaver Valley Nighthawks, because if they don't win, they're playing golf tomorrow.
Right.
If the Dynamiters don't win, they're playing hockey tomorrow in Beaver Valley. So I don't know if that's going to play any kind of role in what's going to happen in this third period, but I expect the Nighthawks, especially for the first 5 minutes or so in this period number 3, are going to come out as hard as they possibly can.
Yeah, we are in for probably the best period of hockey we have seen all year.
There was a couple of good periods with the Fernie Ghost Riders.
That's true.
But I agree that these are the, I believe, looking at what happened in the West Kootenays in their playoffs, these are the two best teams
absolutely
in the KIJHL Kootenay Conference, and they're proving it.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is going to be a barn burner, and I'm going to love it.
It's going to be great, and hopefully I'll keep my voice for the entire 20 minutes or more, if that's what it's going to take.
You're going to have to yell over the fans. I'll be tracking the decibels.
All right. Thanks, Josh
Thank
Lockhart, for coming and talking to us during Blogger's Blurb. We appreciate it, and hopefully, speaking as a Dynamiter fan, we'll see you on Friday night.
I hope so, too.
Josh Lockhart, the Dynamiters blogger. Stay tuned for more KIJHL playoff hockey action live from the Kimberley Civic Center, featuring the Kimberley Dynamiters.